Hello, and welcome to the Miguel Sanchez universe, where we help make your ideas reality. Today I'm going to go over something that I've been thinking about a lot. If the economy drops, how do people continue their lives? Of course, things are going to change, but what can people do right now? And I saw an article or something many years ago that said millionaires have 7 streams of income. That's tough to do, but if you think about it and you start slowly, over time you can get there like anything, right? Of course, as an entrepreneur, it's a little bit easier to do because, your full day is not taken up by a job. It can be split up between multiple companies, right? So for many years, I've been trying to figure this out. I saw the article again randomly the other day, and I said, you know what? Let me make a video about this, because I think there's many people with jobs that want to start their side hustle. There's many people that have side hustles and can have more. And I wanted to start getting through the thinking of the way to start thinking about this. I heard a podcast the other day too on Tim Ferriss. I forgot the guy's name, but he's the author of the book, The One Thing. Awesome book. I know it's a little anti what I'm talking about right now, but his idea for the one thing is every day do something that's going to push whatever your goal is the farthest along. That's the thing that you do every day. You put that first. That's the one thing you're responsible for on that day. The one thing that's going to push your idea the furthest along. So he was on this podcast and he said, I have documents for the last 20 years of how much money I've made in every month of every year. And I remember thinking, wow, that's amazing. Like, I definitely am not organized like that at all. Even when it comes tax time, I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. So that made me think, all right, 2020, let's start right now. 20 years from now, I'll be 2040. If I can have how much money I made from what entities or different streams of income, and see how I can build up and get to the 7, right? So what I did was I created this document, and I'm going to let you guys have this document. It's going to be on my website, but I'm going to walk you through how it works, right? So the idea is your first stream of income is probably your job, right? So you put whatever, let's say you make, let's see what this turns out to be. Let's say you make $50,000 a year, right? That's about $4,000 a month. Oh, another thing he said was he tracked the document based on when the money hit his account. So if you're in business, and you get paid, let's say you close a job today, and the job is $1,000 profit. You don't put that $1,000 in today in January. You put it in whenever the client pays you. Because what you start to see, he said, is you start to see the patterns of how the ebbs and flows of each revenue stream are. And then you can figure out how to make the streams kind of cover each other. So if there's always a dip in the summer for one of your streams, you figure out how to bring other streams up in that time. So it was super interesting to me. And I said, all right, I'm going to create a document for myself. And I've just been thinking about it. It's January, perfect time, 2020. I heard that right in the perfect time. I'm going to create this document. And all right, so let's say if you are, let's say that's $4,000 a month. About, what's that, $4,000 a month? It's 48. Yeah, all right, 48,000. Let's say 48,000. So I'm putting the 4,000 in every month, right? So these are projections because, again, economy drops, you get laid off. That was a projection. It's not exact. It's not actual. So like I have actual in here too, because what happens is, hey, let's say you get a raise, then that number changes. But if you had your projected salary over the year based on your different streams and you see that you're doing better in some, then that's awesome. Another big part of this document is the percentages. Especially for somebody like me that's an entrepreneur that's trying to do the 7 streams through different types of businesses, you want to kind of keep track of what percentage of all the money is where it's coming from, so you know where to spend more of your time, right? Like what if I see that I'm spending 80% of my time on the thing that's bringing me 10% of my revenue? That's not smart, right? And I know some of this may sound like duh, you'll see that, but what if it's a little bit different? What if it's like 30% and you're spending 90? You may not see that, but once you start to document it, you'll see it and you'll say, you know what? This thing that's taking me 10% of my time is giving me 20% of my revenue. What if I up that? What if I give it 50% of my time? How much more would that bring me? So let's say we get to your job and you got $48,000, $4,000 a month, hits your account every month. So that's the projected. And then let's say you coming up with, you have a side hustle where you make $500 a week, $500 a month. So you put that in. So I didn't make it automatically because every month is different, right? Maybe your side hustle, right? You're starting right now and it's 500, but then in the summer it's gonna be 750 because over time you expect it to do better, right? So 750. So what this will do is, I believe it'll start to set your mind to start thinking about other streams of revenue. Because what I always say is, everybody thinks a full-time job is safety, but it's not. It's not. Like at any point, that entrepreneur could do something wrong and then he has to fire 10% of the staff, and that could be you. So I think everyone needs to start just thinking this way. There's different ways. There's investment. There's interest, bank interest. There's a bunch of different things, and I'll have an article linked to an article that I found pretty recently about what the richest people's 7 streams are. So you can check that out too. But the first stream, of course, is your main job. Even if that's your business, that's the main thing. The second thing you have to just figure out, that could be investing in real estate. It can be investing in stocks. It can be investing in a party company where you do parties. I don't know, whatever it is, right? So the idea though is think about the 7, and I'm not sure. I guess it makes sense if you're in a marriage or a household where there's multiple people working. Maybe you put those in. I don't know. I just looked at it as individual because you never know, right? One person in the relationship passes away, and then what do you do if you're relying on only those sources of income? So what I wanted to do was kind of get people started to thinking about that, and then start to look for some of these streams of income and bring them to your attention through the podcast as well. So like, for instance, real estate is a big one, right? And there's going to be an opportunity pretty soon that I've been working on for a long time within real estate that I already spoken to some people offline about, and I want to see how far that can go. Investing has never been easier. I posted it somewhere. In Cash App now, you can invest in stock easy. Like, you can put $10 into Tesla right now in Cash App. It's pretty easy, There's a bunch of different things, right? There's I see this ad all the time for filling out surveys. I don't know. There's all kind of stuff. There's never been more ways. You could create a Shopify store where you sell t-shirts with plants on it. I don't know. You find an audience and you can create something and then try to sell to them. There's all kind of ideas. You just got to spend time doing it. I spend time doing it. One of my ideas is public speaking, doing more public speaking, because public speaking can be a lucrative side hustle. So if you are an executive or you have a good job, public speaking is one of the best routes for your side hustle, because it's not full time. You get a few bookings a year. You can make a lot of money if you grow your skill set, and that's what I plan on doing. That's one of the ones I've been looking at too. Then there's courses, consulting, all kind of things. There's so many opportunities, so many ideas. My key here is I want people to start thinking, what is another stream of income? If right now you're only relying on one stream of income, that is not security, right? Like, I don't care how good your job is, how long you've been there. Economy drops enough, you're not the CEO, you are possibly fired. You know, the only beauty of all that is many people need things like that to really put their actions in place. Like a lot of people who've done amazing things, they've started in recessions and in bad times when they just hit rock bottom and they had to think differently. So if it happens, you know, hopefully you're starting to think like that now. If it doesn't happen, you're growing your 7 streams of income and you're getting closer and closer to like financial independence, right? So again, I just want to make sure that everyone knows where to download this. It's going to be on the miguelsanchez.blog. It'll be the 5th episode. So 005 salary projections. That's going to be the name of the podcast episode, the video, and the URL on my website. So download that, use it. Let me know if you have trouble figuring it out. And if it helps you, donate to my podcast. I was going to charge for it, but I said, you know what? Let me give it free. So I believe that we're in the best time in the history of the world to do anything. So getting to 7 streams of income has never been easier. You just have to think about it and do it. And I want you guys to reach out to me with ideas too, because I would love to hear what you find as some of your 7. And I'll tell you some of mine as we keep it going. So thank you for listening as always. I hope it was informative. I hope the document helps you, and look forward to seeing you again on the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Miguel Sanchez Universe. Hopefully that was helpful. And please share and subscribe to the podcast, and hope to see you back next time. Thank you.